Out of the blue of the western sky comes
Runway DFW.
Live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas, this is Runway DFW, in color. Now, here is your host, Walt Zwerko.
And good morning, everyone. We're on the dawn patrol today here at Runway DFW. It is Tuesday, December 6th, 2022, and you are looking at the East Tower of DFW Airport. In the background, it's the skyline of Dallas. It is a cloudy morning. My thermometer says 64. The official airport temperature is 63 degrees Fahrenheit. The winds are out of the south at 5 miles an hour. So we should have south flow going today. Lots of good action for you. So for the next 3 hours, I welcome you to this edition of Runway DFW. Well, we've got camera 5 broken out today, and that means we've got some low light camera action for you. Let's see what's going on right now at the big old airport. Generally, this hour is not entirely busy, but I just need a little more practice with this camera. So I'm going to subject you to it, but I hope it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. Let's see. We've already had the flight from Honolulu land. We should be seeing, well, later in this hour, we'll be seeing a UPS cargo flight 757 from Omaha, Nebraska. But that's running towards the end. Well, we'll see that in about an hour. See if we've got anything going on right now. 6:20, 6:15, 6:26. It's a little light right now, I gotta say. When I looked last night, it looked like this 6 o'clock hour was going to be just a little bit better for us. So, apologize for that. We, of course, are coming to you through the facilities of the Runway DFW satellite truck. They're kind of in the dark. Well, we've got one of our regular camera 2 is pointed at that this morning, and that's not very good in the dark. It'll brighten up as we go along. So let's say hello to everyone. Daniel Vaught, good morning, Walt, coming to us from across the seas. We've got Andrea Molson, who's welcoming everyone. Hello, Andrea. Our great moderator, Ms. Wolves13, says good morning, everyone. And M.R. Rice says good morning, Walt, and all on Runway DFW. So, we're kind of tapping our toes right now. We're in a little different spot today. Let's see if this camera can pick it up. So we're kind of out a little bit on the plaza, out on the grass here, and I'm got my fingers crossed that there will be no sprinklers going off. I haven't seen any sprinklers in a while, so I hope that will not be the case today. You're looking south from here. In the foreground is the statue of children frolicking and pretending to be aircraft. Over there on the right, well, it's pretty blurry. This camera is not doing such a hot job. As a Western Global MD-11 which came in earlier. Let's see if we can get a real camera zeroed in on that, because it's always fun to see. We hadn't seen Western Global here. I don't think I'd ever seen it here, although I have reason to believe they've flown here before, and they are operating here on behalf of UPS, which I guess needs some additional capacity during the holiday season. So there it is. See, do we need to dial up the gain any bit? Let's see here. That's a little better. So that came in a little early. You can see the cargo door is open, and that was me going through the picture.
996 Heavy, we're on a visual 18 right. Is the import available?
You know what we don't have plugged in is our... You can hear it in the background, our scanner. But I did not have it plugged into our soundboard. So let's see if we can get that rectified for you. Okay. Debbie, YYZ, good morning. And I'm assuming she's coming to us from Canada. I am looking at our radar, and we are just minutes away now from the morning flight from Buenos Aires. It is a 777-200 this time. I can't remember if it's always a 777 or if it's Dreamliner sometimes. Can't remember, but today, 777. And that's going to be here in about 2-3 minutes. So excitement aplenty for you today at DFW Airport. I have to tell you something. I got a pneumonia shot yesterday, and it kind of hit me this morning as I was getting up. You know how it is when you get a shot, and sometimes it has an effect on you, and sometimes it doesn't. This one seems to have had that effect. But I was a little achy yesterday, but this morning, ugh. So if I sound a little off, that would be why. So I apologize in advance for any perceived kind of blah. Adam Mero says, if I can click my... Why is my clicker not working? There it is. Hello, folks. Very early morning as I see. Yes. I don't know. I may have made the wrong decision today to come on this early, but... And we may be here tomorrow, too. We'll talk about that a little later. Wow, that camera doesn't look good in the night time, does it? No, it does not. Well, we're going to get ready to capture something that will look okay. And it will be the flight coming in from Sao Paulo. No, I'm sorry, Buenos Aires. And yonder it cometh. So our first incoming flight of the day on Runway DFW. So I know a lot of you have asked what camera this is that we're using and how it's different than our regular camera.
996 heavy, thanks, sir.
Our regular camera is a Panasonic camcorder. In fact, we have two of them, and the other, our alternate camera today, is a little less capable, well, a lot less capable Panasonic camcorder as our camera 2 today. This we call camera 5. It's a Sony Alpha 7S2, which has really excellent low light capabilities, which you need, A, because it's kind of dark out there, and B, because this lens is very long and it soaks up a lot of light, and it doesn't have a very wide f-stop. So we need a plane that can, or I mean, we need a camera that can soak up a lot of light that we lose through the lens. Daniel has got a rating for that landing. Thank you, Daniel. Blue Stem, Illinois Prairie. Good morning to the early shift crew at Runway DFW. Yeah, we're on the dawn patrol. I see Gerard there. Hello, Gerard. Good to have you with us in the early afternoon over there in Holland. Travis, Florida, USA. Good morning from sunny South Florida. Pushing sunshine your way. Thank you. It's going to be a very, very mild day here. I mean, it's almost balmy here to be 64 degrees on a early December morning. We can go back to our real camera here. Little tiny propeller cargo plane just kind of snuck in on us here.
Yeah, American 996 approaching 124.
So something is coming our way here. I believe this is going to be a Martin Air flight coming in from Wichita Falls, Texas. I say I believe because with my eyes all I can see is the lights. But the camera can actually make out that there's a plane there. Will be coming right at us here for a moment or two. And it's going to go to the back of the UPS facility there and unload. What have we here?
Tower West Level 768, visual 18 right. One 90 at 7, cleared to land, Western Global 768, 18 right.
It's another Martin Air Cessna 208B Super Cargo Master. It's a 34-year-old plane, but don't have any information as to where it originated. Well, we're kind of laid back here this morning on Runway DFW, I have to say. Makes me yearn for the night show we had last week. We tried going on from 10 till midnight when it was just cargo a go-go here, and that was kind of fun. We'll do that again sometime. Oh, that was me, sorry. M.R. Rice, a fan of the Cessna Caravan. Daniel is informing us that we had snow over here in Dusseldorf yesterday, but it's already melted away. Is that early for snow in Dusseldorf, or do you normally get snow in Dusseldorf? I don't know enough about the climatological ins and outs of Germany. Hello to Yin 777 from San Francisco. You're up early today. Says good morning, and we say good morning back. Wendy KLM fan says good morning to you. Wish we could show you some KLM planes here, Wendy, but they fly to Austin. I don't know if they fly to Houston or not. I know to Austin, and unfortunately when I went there a few months back, I missed any incoming KLM or outgoing KLM, but I hope they'll come on into Dallas sometime. See something else going on over there. CM Alvo 4 says good morning from Barcelona. And I think I pronounced that right. More red-hot cargo action for you this morning on Runway DFW. Another Martin Air flight bringing its cargo in.
Wind check.
I tell you what, so far this Tuesday morning is not rating very highly on my scale of excitement, but we do have an incoming flight now. Oh, it's going to be an MD-11. We like MD-11s, right? I know you like them. So that kind of makes up for the lack of action, I hope.
Right, when able,
The aircraft this morning are coming in from the north, landing to the south. We're pointed south right now, our camera is. And so that aircraft will find a taxiway and come up right before the Runway DFW cameras for your edification. Will we see a 747 today? I'm not sure if we will or not. Sometimes those big gals come and go in the dark of night here, and we only get cargo as far as 747s go, unfortunately, at this time.
RNAV to B Park, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff. Runway to
We've got a plane that's getting ready for taking off here, so as you may have heard. So let us bring that to you. It's a Spirit Airlines. It is positioning itself at the top of runway 18 left for taking off. I'm sure you want to know where it's going to. It's going to Las Vegas. It's an Airbus A320neo. So the passengers aboard this aircraft will have a full day ahead of them of plopping quarters into slots. They don't do that anymore, do they? You just stick a card in the machine. So it's taken off pretty heavy there. its way to Vegas in the pre-dawn sky here on the Dawn Patrol edition of Runway DFW.
Good morning. Contact departure current City.
Now back to that Western Global MD-11, which is trundling towards us. It's a relatively new MD-11, dates back to the turn of the century, to the year 2000.
Tower Western Global 766, Navy advice ramp control 1, UP front control 1, also enter the ramp via Whiskey Fox.
Adamiro says, what a nice sculpture on the left. Yeah, we'll get a better look at that when
Hold short 1
daybreak arrives.
Global 766.
Say good morning to East Texas Aviation here on Runway DFW. Hello, ETA, if I may abbreviate. Daniel Vaught says, gotta leave you to get back to work. Stay safe, folks. Thanks for checking in, Daniel. Always nice to have you here. And we should get some nice MD engine wine as this tri-jet passes our position.
Good morning, Envoy 4080, visual on A-Ride.
I'm assuming it's going to park right in front of us pretty much. And this, by the way, came in from Louisville.
Okay, Yankee, cross runway 18 right, and then left turn at Echo. Yankee, Whiskey Foxtrot, West Global 768. Hold short 18 right, West Global 768.
Right, clear to land, Envoy 40.
Where's that thing going? I had expected it to make a turn to the right of our viewfinder, and instead it's kind of going back to the runway, unless this is not the plane we saw coming in. Or maybe it's just got to reposition itself in order to get into the right space at the UPS cargo facility. So it's interesting. Taking the scenic route. brightness a little bit so you can get a better look at the paint job on that thing. Maybe it's marking time for well, there seem to be plenty of spaces over there at the UPS facility, so I don't think it's kind of marking time to wait for an empty spot. It does seem to be waiting. Maybe there's just nobody to receive it yet. Aviation Mike says they just want to show off for the camera and kind of pose in front of the East Tower and the Dallas skyline. Can I make that be any brighter? A little brighter. Well, you wanted action, and well, you're not getting any action right now. It may be waiting for this next flight. It's an American Airlines plane coming in from, or American Eagle plane coming in from Jackson. So let's see what we can do about that. You see the daybreak sky just beyond. It's an Embraer 175 coming in from Jackson, Mississippi. So it looks like the MD was waiting for this landing to transpire. And it's on the move.
Get off the 8, west, off the ring, Boy 48, thank you.
So why it took that roundabout route, I do not know, but it's on its way to its parking space at UPS. And again, I'm only surmising here, but UPS has engaged the services of these Western Global MDs. We see there's two right here now. I don't know how many more they're using. I'm imagining to supplement their fleet during the holiday season. You kind of see the tail turning. tail turning. Don't worry, everybody, you're not missing anything as we wait for our next victim. Looks like we have an American Airlines Airbus A321 headed out to Los Angeles.
Morning, RNAV to Lawrence, clear to takeoff, American 25th.
And you know, it's funny, I don't know if it's funny, but I noticed that on the Flight Radar website, that Los Angeles is no longer, at least temporarily, the top destination from DFW. It's now fallen to LaGuardia Airport on the other coast in New York.
That's 2551's on the left base, 18, right? That's 2551, it may have blocked you. We're left base for 218, right? Good Atlanta 18 right, American 2551. Departure American 2717, good morning.
And there you see our sky conditions this morning. We should have a nice sunrise when we get to that point. Mike G says, good morning, Walt, from a cold and wet UK. Sorry to hear that. Well, I hope you have a warm place to hang out. DJ, where'd it go? DJ Angel Rider 78, good morning from Detroit, Michigan, the Motor City. Mrs. Runway DFW says, she's demanding. She says, I want action. I'm at the mercy of aircraft, my dear. let's see what we're up against here. Alright, our next arrival is going to be
Tower Air Shuttle 5730 on the visual 1A right.
737-800 coming in from Houston Intercontinental
Clear
Airport
land 1A right, Air Shuttle 5730.
here in Texas. It's American Airlines Flight 2551. And did I say it was a 737-800? Well, it is. Yuck, that looks terrible. It'll look better when the sun comes up. So there you see in the foreground our home base of DFW Founders Plaza. There's some picnic tables and grassy area to hang out at. Nice place to watch planes. Only wish there was something analogous on the other side of the airport, on the east side. We're on the west side, but you know, hey, better to have this than nothing. So there's some action. Not a lot of action, but some action. Robert Smith says the shot towards UPS is, quote, artistic. Yeah. It's this camera is just not very suitable. Well, let me zoom out a little bit. Maybe it'll look a little better. Not long.
Golf 8, Golf with you to cross 1 of your right, American 2551.
But that is the look to the south. We next have American Eagle Flight 5730. This is coming in from Houston as well with this Houston Hobby Airport. It's a CRJ 900. And we will welcome it on Runway DFW for you in just a moment or two. I think we've got it almost in our sights.
Tower Polar 502 Heavy approaching immigration 1 right. Clear to land 18 right, Polar 502 Heavy.
And you heard a clearance for a Polar Air cargo flight, which I believe that's coming in from Cincinnati. I believe that's a 767, and it was cleared for runway 18 right, which means it's going to be right behind this aircraft coming in from Houston Hobby Airport. So it's a bit of a treat for us today. The Polar Air Cargo often lands on the on the east side of the airport, and we just kind of catch it as it comes over here. So this will be nice, if I heard the dispatcher correctly. And yes, this will be Polar Air Cargo flight numero. Why is my finger not?
Cross 1 at with Kilo and contact ground or shuttle Pacific.
I know my fingers are cold and they're not hitting the right one. It's flight 502
Okay,
Polar Air Cargo.
Stay with you, and then I'll help you land.
It is an aircraft that dates back to the 20th century. And when we get a beat on it, we will jingle it, as is our custom sometimes. Demont Webb says I'll be flying Qatar to Zambia in January. I can't wait. I'm so excited for my first flight to Africa. That sounds like a lot of fun. Bill Platt, our great moderator, says waking up to this made my morning. I've had the roughest couple of weeks and in a state of recovery. But we're here for you, Bill. And, there's... plane spotting will take your mind off things. Like this vintage 767.
1993.
Coach American 102 Heavy, 11 miles, 18 right. Land, 18 right, parking east, American 102 Heavy.
Got another heavy right behind it. It's going to be American Airlines Flight 102 from Honolulu.
Right on Whiskey Mike with you to the Ramsey Charlie over Buzzard Heavy.
We were looking to the south there, and here we are looking to the north. There's going to be a 787-9 Dreamliner, Flight 102, American Airlines from Honolulu. And you can see several planes in the sky there if you look carefully. Here on the Dawn Patrol edition of Runway DFW. Oh, where is this plane? Did I misjudge?
Entering Charlie 9.
Yeah, it hasn't quite crossed
Cleared land.
Highway 114 yet.
Hey, thanks.
Tower, shuttle 5861, visual 18 right.
I believe I see it now. Coming
18 right, clear to land. Caution the heavy, 5861 there.
Coming under that awning. Completing a flight from the Hawaiian Islands. We're got a little volcano to worry about at this time, don't they?
right, envoy 3304 on 2415, clear go land, 13 right, envoy 3304.
Autofocus not reliable. So there it goes, off to the terminal.
Yeah, go Bravo, short 1.
Next to arrive is going to be American Eagle Flight 5861. A CRJ 900. And be
2266,
seeing it shortly.
18 right.
Let me see if we can, though, pick out a
Land, 20 right,
UPS flight coming in on the east side from Omaha.
Yeah, we're on the east side,
I think this is it.
Bravo, 18 left, Fox Alpha,
No, that's not it.
Charlie 39.
That's an aircraft coming in on the east side, but not what we were looking for.
38, visual 18 right. Land 18 right, scout 3238.
I think I see the target now. First of all, in the foreground, you'll see this plane we talked about earlier. This is the UPS, I think. Hard to tell from this distance. Yeah, I think that's it. 757. So eventually we'll see this plane over on this side. It's got a little trek ahead of it.
Papa Whiskey Kilo, Gulf to the right, across 18 left, Air Shuttle 5061. Clear to cross 18 left, Air Shuttle 5061.
What have we got here? An Airbus A321 arriving from San Antonio. Where is it? Ah. I would like to acknowledge a super chat from Bill Platt. If you have any lens cloths, you have a dirt speck on my end, center, left, and upper. Huh. Well, I do have dust cloths. Let's point this camera at the sky.
Kilo, hold short of 1, right, envoy 33.
Oh, I think I see what you're talking about, Bill. that one? Center left. Nope, right. I don't see the center left one. I do see the one on the left. Oh yeah, center left. I do see that. Well, I'll try to take care of that. In fact, in the mail, I just got a little blower, a little air blower, not pressurized, just a little gentle device which can give a puff of air to the sensor so it doesn't get clogged with dust and such. Kind of lost all track of time here. What time is it? Oh, it's almost 7 o'clock.
Towers, guys, 283, visual 18 ready.
Been on the air for an hour. Sunrise is coming up fairly shortly.
Clear land, guys, 283.
Robert says the shots against the orange sky are awesome. Another plane is arriving. Shall we look at it? Okay. It's an American Eagle something or other. Couldn't tell. Is that one of those ghost planes with no markings on it? I didn't see any insignias. That CRJ 900ER was arriving from Midland, Texas. It's a Mesa Airlines plane operating on behalf
left takeoff, airshow 5790,
of American Eagle. Looking for any interesting aircraft in the sky on approach. The 757 from Omaha that we saw arriving on the east side is now approaching us. I think. Maybe not. Maybe not yet. I did read something interesting about 757s, that they were built to have the same stance as a 767. That is, the reason they look so high up in the sky, up above the tarmac, is because they were engineered so if they rolled into a gate, they'd have the same profile as a 767.
Tower American 2862, visual 18 right.
And what you just saw there,
Alright, cross 18 right, cross 18 left with low, and golf to ramp envoy
Landing.
304.
was I can't,
Good to land 18 right, American 2862.
couldn't make it out. But there you see the 757 that landed from Omaha over on the east side. Now it's coming over here. As we talk about many times here on Runway DFW, we do not get any regular passenger service on 757. So when we see these, that's pretty much all we get. I think FedEx flies 757s in here too, but they generally operate out of the east side, so we don't see them as often.
Alright, at the land, 18 left, clear takeoff, American 431. Tower American 2272, visual 18 right. Clear to land 18 right, American 2272.
A graceful profile indeed. And they just pull straight in there, I think.
Tower Envoy 3304. Chance we can go around to 105. Blue ramp Envoy 3304, thanks.
There's one of the two Western Global tri-jets over at UPS now, disgorging its cargo.
They're parking east side. Alright, Whiskey Lima cross 18 left, Foxtrot Alpha, and 0.65 top of the bridge, American 26. Richard Departure, good morning, American 431.
Janet Nelson says FedEx flies in and out of Alliance most of the time. Alliance is it's another airport, not a passenger airport, that's to the west of us in Fort Worth. But FedEx does have a facility here, kind of analogous to this one we see here, the UPS facility. Probably not quite as big, but yeah, we do get a lot of FedEx in and out of here. We just don't see it because it's mainly operates on the east side.
Envoy 3885, visual 18 right. 18 right, cleared to land, Envoy 3885.
And what you saw there was American Flight 2272, an Airbus A321, landing after a brief journey from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma to the northwest. Got a lot of regional action approaching, first of which from Lawton, Oklahoma, American Eagle Flight 3189, a CRJ 700, right behind that.
We're slowing it down right now, Envoy 3885.
An Ember 175 from Corpus Christi, Texas.
Yeah, we can land 18 left, Envoy 3885.
And behind that is an American Eagle flight from San Angelo,
18 left, cleared to
Texas.
land, Envoy 3885.
Is that right? Yes. That'll be a CRJ 700. So, fans of regional aircraft, welcome.
DFW Tower Scout 3216, visual approach 18 right. Cross point left from then Fox Alpha, top of the bridge. That's one. Right, cool land Scout is 3216.
Spy an MD-11. You see it? Kind of got away from it. That's a FedEx MD-11, I believe,
Bravo, hold short 18 left.
which left on the east side. And it was going pretty much straight up in the air, so I thought, nah, that must be an MD-11. Where's that going? It's going to Oakland, California.
American 2563, 18 right.
Almost time for sunrise.
Right, American 2563. Turn left, contact ground, 0.85, Envoy 3885.
Can't remember when the official sunrise is. Let me check my sources. This is Tuesday, sunrise at 7:18. We're still about 8 minutes away from sunrise. So while we wait for that, we will welcome the American Eagle Flight 3216 from San Angelo in Texas. Phil Tovey says a very good afternoon all. Hope everyone is good today from Warwick in Warwickshire, UK. Happy to have you here, Phil. Dwayne C., good morning from the west edge of Fort Worth. Might get a nice sunrise. Yeah, I think we will today. Based on the cloud configuration. Louis DeHaan says good morning, and we say good morning to you here from Founders Plaza at DFW Airport on this northwest side of this gigantic facility.
Tower Scout 4970, visual 18 right. Right, clear line, Southwest 49.
I knew I was going to do that sometime. There's a button on the remote control of my camera which is close to the zoom control, and it's labeled power. And so as the plane was coming in, I tried to hit the zoom button. I hit the power button instead, which switched our little camera off temporarily. It's back. And there's the pre-sunrise here on the Runway DFW Dawn Patrol Edition.
What's to the east?
That's our new name for this. I'm going to have to do a little better research on what's coming in. I thought there was going to be enough really to make this a very interesting and lively broadcast this morning, but I've been disappointed so far. Maybe we'll catch up a little bit as we go.
We've got
to get off of our night look here, so we'll go to the... That's not right.
20 right, couldn't land, back at 604.
Turn that off. I didn't change that date, did I? All right, sunrise is about 5 minutes away. In the meantime, some more incoming action for you on Runway DFW. Another American Eagle flight arriving.
Double Tower to China 1 to Haiti, Roger Mike on final, 1 at right. Runway 1 at right, return to China 1 to Haiti.
That was arriving from Laredo, that was. After this next arrival, which is an American Eagle flight coming in from, I want to say, McAllen, Texas. This is not American Eagle. It's American Flight 604 from McAllen, Texas. 737-800. Right behind that is going to be Japan Airlines Flight 12, arriving from Haneda Airport in Tokyo. So, our first international arrival of the morning on Runway DFW. I believe we have a One World livery there, don't we? I'm hearing the puffs of the bird cannons going off in the background. Kind of noisemakers that discourage birds from hanging around the runways. Okay, now we got a Dreamliner coming in. Is it a Dreamliner?
Good morning.
Yeah, it's Dreamliner 787-9 from Haneda Airport in Tokyo.
Good morning, Tower Scouts 4916, visual 1 8 right. Way right, clear to land, Scouts.
DFW Tower, 5820, visual 1 8 right. Clear to land, 1 8 right, airfield 5820.
I may have seen a little vapor along the wings as it was landing. Bill Caldum in Arkansas says, "Good morning, Walt. Good morning to you, Bill. Happy to have you here." Ian Fleming says, "Afternoon, everyone." Good afternoon to you over across the pond. And it's that time again, everyone. It is that time.
What time is it?
It's way too early for that.
Cue the sun. And we're slowing down now, our shuttle 5820.
Tower American 2012 is visual 1 8 right, 7.5 mile final. Only 1 8 right, American 2012.
Alright, now if we're lucky, we may get to see a plane. Well, no, I think the planes are landing a little too... It would be nice to get a plane going through that shot, but I don't think we're going to get that today. But anyway, our little sunrise there. Chicago 2009, stunning view. Phil says, what a lovely view, so nice from Warwick in the UK. What do we got here? Looks like an A319, American Airlines. And where'd it go? I had too much zoom in there, folks. But there's the tail end of its landing. You kind of heard it, but you didn't see it. Another feature of Runway DFW. Meanwhile, over at UPS, we've got the one of the cargo bay doors of this MD open. Looks like they're doing some business there. Jay Bachholt says, is this a channel for plane watching or sun watching? Because I thought it was for plane watching. Well, it's one of those traditions we have, Jay, here on Runway DFW. We like to watch the sun come up. And if there's not a lot of aircraft activity, you know, if there was a 747 or an A380 coming in, we would divert. But, so if it's not for you, I apologize. Bill Platt says, Walt, were you streaming from a different spot last stream? I had a hard time recognizing the airport layout last stream. Today, it seems you're back in your normal spot, and I recognize everything again. Well, actually, we're in a spot we haven't been in a while, and I would show you... I would be more specific about it, but the lens that we have on our big camera 5 here is not a wide-angle lens, and I can't really show you where we are as well. But we're out on the grass a little bit. We haven't been out on the grass in a while here at DFW Airport at Founders Plaza, because during the dry months they kept turning the sprinklers on at unexpected times. So if you were to look at a map of Founders Plaza, we're on the east side, almost to the south edge, but not quite. Let's see if we can make this a little clearer. Here are the statues of these children frolicking, and that is at the southeast. Did I get this right? Yeah, the southeast corner of Founders Plaza. So we're just to the north of that. We have been operating in the mornings. We usually go over here so we get a little better view of the cargo planes, you know, an unobstructed view. But when we go over there, we don't get it. We get an obstructed view of the landings. So this is kind of the compromise position. I don't think we're getting a water cannon salute there, but we do have a DFW Fire Department truck doing a little bit of spraying. I think it's to clear out its nozzles. We did see the fire department providing a welcome for the newly christened Qantas flight from Melbourne, which arrived on Saturday. We were here to bring you that. It was kind of fun. Ellie French says, as Kevin from AVL says, everybody hit that like button and feed that beast, please and thank you. Thank you, Ellie, for that timely reminder. Appreciate that. Here comes American Eagle Flight 3327 from Harlingen. It's an Embraer 175. Our next arrival on runway DFW. And as for any dust on the lens, Bill Platt, I think I'm going to have to deal with that in a more controlled environment at home. So I apologize for any interruption in viewing quality this morning. It's quieted down here again as the clock ticks at 7:30. Looks like there's a lot of arrivals coming in on the east side at the moment. Bill Platt says, this is the best spot. Water cannon. Well, as long as they don't aim their water cannon at yours truly. Well, we'll turn our focus over to the east side of the airport for this arriving aircraft, which I think, well, I won't. I saw it a little bit ago and I can't remember what it was. And I don't have my regular map. Usually I have my phone right next to the camera so I can see what's going on, and for some reason I haven't been able to figure out a way to mount it adjacent to this camera yet. I thought I had a way to attach it to the top of the camera, but I didn't have all the right hardware for some reason. So I do believe that was American Flight 1719 from Newark, New Jersey, in the New York area. Jaime Flores is our newest subscriber to Runway DFW. Thank you, Jaime. There's the big American flag next to the north radar tower, showing the direction and velocity of the wind. We say howdy to Cats Meow. Hello, Cats Meow. Bill called him. who's in Arkansas, next door to us, it says it's unreal here, December 6th and almost 70 degrees. It's not beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. And Allison is saying, beautiful sunrise there in DFW. And we do tend to zero in on the sunrise when there's inactivity, because it's just nice to look at. 64 degrees is the temperature here at DFW. Balmy I would say, yes. Another aircraft on final approach from on the east side of DFW. That was American Flight 2261 from St. Louis. And nothing is being assigned to us over here as far as landings go. Got a flight coming in from Pittsburgh, another one coming in from Lafayette, Louisiana, over on the east side. They don't like us. I believe this is the Pittsburgh flight. Do I see? Oh, there's a plane taking off here. I think we're gonna taking off from 18 left, which is in front of us. Now we do have the disadvantage of being blinded by the sun at the moment, but there's another look at one of those two Western Global planes parked over at the UPS cargo lounge. Nell Lockwood says, Walt, what's the longest flight you've been on? Well, the longest flight I've been on is an American Airlines plane nonstop from here at DFW to Seoul, South Korea, and back. And that was in 2016, I believe. We should focus on that other plane, because I think they're actually conducting cargo operations. Here's that camera that couldn't see anything in the dark. Makes a much nicer picture in the daylight. Let me consult my... Looks like we're going to be getting an UPS Boeing 752 coming in from the Big Easy, New Orleans. It's about 3 minutes away, and it's coming in on this side. And this is definitely a 20th century plane, as we'll try to describe sonically when it gets here. TriStar Darren says she's a beaut, all right. MD-11 heaven. Yeah, we get used to kind of seeing all these MD-11s here, and you know, a lot of places don't see them at all, right? So we're kind of lucky in that way, and happy that we can share them with you here at Runway DFW. We had a lot of contrails on Saturday. Got a couple up in the sky right now. This is looking towards the northeast. And yes, that is a speck of dust on our sensor there on the left side. And I will take care of it before our next broadcast. Yeah, I guess there's another speck over near our logo in the upper right hand corner. So we are awaiting the UPS 757 from New Orleans. I think we've kind of got it in our sights now. Was that me? What was that? Oh, there was somebody standing in our shot. Thought I got in the way of the shot. I said, how could that be? Now, what was I going to tell you about this plane? Something about how old it is. 1988. Oh, our singers didn't have him turned up. 1988. Yeah, a 34-year-old vintage 757. I think that was landing on 18 left. Normally the takeoff runway here on the west side of the airport. But they said, go land over there. A little farther away from us than we normally see it land. Can't tell. It looks like got a plane getting ready to take off on that same runway. Which I know is commonplace at a lot of airports, but here at DFW they normally isolate the landings and takeoffs just because there's so many of them. It's a Frontier aircraft, as you can maybe see, but because of the backlighting, it's hard to tell what's on the tail there. I'll tell you what it is based on Flight Radar 24. And there's the 757 that just arrived, accompanied by a bunch of vehicles, although I don't know if they have anything to do with it. We say hello to Barbara Jones, our newest subscriber to Runway DFW. Thank you, Barbara. What are we up to? Looks like we're up to 8,163 subscribers. Thanks to all of you for that. That certainly does help us with YouTube. They say, hey, that guy's got 8,000 subscribers. Let's recommend him to some aviation enthusiasts. So that's how it helps us, and it helps you by making it easier to find us next time you're looking for some DFW Airport activity. So thank you, everyone. We've got another plane landing now on 18 left, so I guess 18 right is closed for the time being. Quiet jet. I would guess those are not, I'm not a big engine expert, but I would guess those are not the original engines of that plane when it was manufactured in 1988. Because it's very hushed. Nice. Ooh, they've closed up the door on the Western Global, so maybe if we keep our fingers crossed, we'll get to see that dispatched before we depart here. There's been a little change in the atmospherics here, as we can look at the East Tower and just barely see the fuzzy outline of downtown Dallas back there. Stephanie Williams with a question, will the A380 ever come to Dallas? Well, Stephanie, the A380 came to Dallas for a number of years in the form of Qantas and Emirates. They both flew the A380 here. That ended at the start of the pandemic. Earlier this year, however, if you'll look in our archives of Runway DFW, you can watch the return of the British, or the inaugural flight of the British Airways A380 from London. And so it flies daily here. We won't see it on this broadcast. The A380 British Airways flight lands in the late afternoon here, and it heads back to London in the early evening. Smoke and Slice BBQ LLC says, too bad we can't keep tapping on the screen to get more likes as you can on TikTok. Well, you know, you got to work with what you got, so. I'm happy for all the likes you have given us. Kyle Jordan Weather says, hello everyone. Well, I say it says WX, but WX is the abbreviation for weather, at least in the TV news business. Oh, and Ultra Swift answered that question about what was on the tail of that Frontier plane. It was Griswold the grizzly bear. Tim Bell says, MD-11's pretty rare in the UK now. We've got a couple of 727s in the north, though. Well, that would be cool to see. Boy, when you think of how many 727s I flew on back in the day, and how you just took it for granted that they'd always be there. And if you looked at the terminal area here at DFW, you'd see just tails of tri-jets. So are they sealing this thing up? I see the cockpit doors closed. I see ground workers are assembled. See if it's on the agenda here. We've got a a UPS 757 off to Toronto, not Toronto, to Ontario, California. It's supposed to leave at 8. It looks like it's delayed until about 8:15. Oh, I don't know if it's this one, but the Western Global, one of the Western Globals, MD-11s, is set to go off at 8:13. Headed back to the UPS home base of Louisville, so it's nice. And we've got some traffic going out now. So shall we take a look at that? First out is a United flight to San Francisco. If we can catch up with it here. My camera was not ready for that. I saw an article that American Airlines is closing its crew base in San Francisco, making some of the long-time employees who work out of there not very happy because they only have a very short period of time to agree to go somewhere else or say sayonara. So American doing a little retrenching in SFO. And that United flight was going to San Francisco to 737-9. I think we've got another UPS flight here. Shall we take a look? And we did get some vapor trails that time, didn't we? That was UPS flight 9740 coming in from Jackson, Mississippi. That's a 757. A little newer than the one that we saw last time. Shall we figure out how old it is here? Here we go. Let's make sure the singers sing it nice and loud.
1998.
So there you go, another 20th century aircraft. But what ho! That Western Global we'd been keeping an eyeball on is now backing out. There it is, hiding behind that fence. Oh, I heard a Wookiee there. I think we've got a Delta A320 getting ready to take off. Or an A220. Can you hear it? So we've got the A220 taking off. We're not looking at that. We've got a 757 UPS coming in to park. And we've got this Western Global MD-11 Tri-Jet getting ready to take its leave for Louisville. Good morning to Flight Sim Explorations. How about an A300? Would you like to see an A300? Of course, everyone likes to see an A300. This UPS flight's coming in from Houston Intercontinental. That plane doesn't merit a jingle. It was built in this century. We don't have any jingles for planes from this century. Here, however, is the UPS 757, which is headed out to Ontario, California. We talked about that earlier. But we're going to divert from that because we've got the daily flight from Auckland, New Zealand. Is it a daily flight? I don't think it's a daily flight, but no, it is a daily flight. It's a Dreamliner, making a very long journey across the Pacific. Touching down after that long journey, 12 hours and 48 minutes in the air. What have we got here? We've got... There's the A300 we just saw landing. Gets up here pretty fast. And here comes another MD-11. Or this is the one we were waiting for, actually. The one we saw being packed up earlier. All buttoned up and ready to go to Louisville. So we've got kind of a traffic jam here. Got an A300 coming in, a 757 going out, and this MD-11 going out. Sometimes the controllers will just let these MDs make a right turn on runway 18 right and blast off. That would be optimal for us. Sometimes they send it over to 18 left, and since it's going to Louisville, which is to the east of us, sometimes they send it over on the other side of the airport. Tail art. We don't get to see that very often, or we haven't. We are going to see a turn and burn here. Very nice. So here's the 757 off to Ontario, California. And should probably get the same takeoff treatment. But it looks to be going over to runway 18 left. And there's that A300 pulling in. Back to the 757. Ontario bound. Looks like we've got an A319 on the flight line. It's American Flight 170. Don't have a destination for that one. We will wish it bon voyage no matter where it may be going. Another A319. Do we know where that was coming from? It's coming from San Luis Potosí in Mexico. Okay. So two of those Martin Air cargo planes lining up to take off. Single engine. I believe they're both Super Cargo Masters. Could be wrong about that though. That was American Flight 1034. It has arrived from Guadalajara, Mexico, 737-800. Now we have a lineup of little bitty cargo planes. Not one, not two, not three, but four. I don't think I've ever seen that many out there before at the same time. Don't have an indication of where they are going, but their destinations are likely in the immediate area, either North or West Texas, or Central Texas, or Oklahoma, or Louisiana, or Arkansas. And these planes go where the big UPS planes can't or don't. So they're cooling their propellers as Frontier Flight 1551, an Airbus A320neo with a Captain the Puffin livery. Captain the Puffin gets ready to take off for, did I say where? For Atlanta. I think I must have turned our ATC down. Pete Davis says, wow, so many American Airlines planes lined up at the terminal. Yeah, that's what you get here at DFW Airport. And Tom A says, Walt, there's a line of arrivals all the way back to Little Rock. Should be nice and busy.
8 left, line up and wait. My take 660. Parking east, American line, 540. Take a Bravo for the 1 left, American line, 540. Okay, American 1750 joining visual final 18 right. 1750 via control 18 right to land 18 right. To land 18 right, American 1750. Wait, 18 right. 18 left, right. Around 18 right, hold turn right, 18 left, Mark.
I don't know why it's 65 degrees, but my hands are cold. It's weird. Next flight coming in is American Flight 1066 from Mexico City, 737-800, or Ocho Santos, as they say in Mexico City. Right behind that is going to be another plane from Mexico, American 1750, arriving from Cancun, And then after that is an American Eagle flight from Aguascalientes in Mexico. So
60 going over departure.
it's the Mexican half hour here at Runway DFW. We've got those vapor trails going today, don't we? We do have some moisture in the air today here in North Texas.
Clear cross 20 left, Fox outbound, bridge Mexican 25, 47 up top.
ODuck22 says, I really enjoy your channel. You have a perfect broadcaster voice, very relaxing. Thank you, ODuck. I'll try not to screech and scream. Jacob says the vapor trails look awesome. I like those. Sometimes I don't even see them until I get home and look at it on a big screen. But today I can actually see them on my little tiny viewfinder, so they must be evident.
Cross from 8 left, Whiskey Lima, American 10,
Jacob Harvey says, tuning in a little late, just saw the MD-11 departure on the radar and was super excited to see an 18 right takeoff. Glad you captured it. That does happen occasionally. Here comes another one of those inbound flights from Mexico, this one from Cancun.
left, line up and wait, come on.
I didn't see as much trailing vapor on that. I saw a little bit. Riddy727 is our newest subscriber on Runway DFW. Thank you, Riddy.
Is Delta 30
We're up to 8,175 subscribers, which is gratifying.
Runway heading 18 left, clear for takeoff, Mardix 666.
And we have Nicholas Roscoe tuning in from Pecos, Texas. Glad to have you with us on this Tuesday morning. And now a plane coming in from one of the favorite things I can say, the word Aguascalientes.
Left at Whiskey Lima and ground on 240 on the heading, Mardix 666.
That, of course, an Embraer 175. check in on our remaining Western Global here.
Mark, Triple Six, good day, sir.
Hal has opened the cargo bay door, and can't tell if they're loading or unloading or what.
Tower, good morning. Go 3271. Visual, runway 18 right, parking west. Runway 18 right, go 3271.
So what do we have here in the remaining 40 minutes or so of our morning broadcast? Well, looks like our final plane will probably be the arrival of Qatar Airways Flight 731 from World Cup Central in Doha. That'll be a 777, and that's supposed to come in right at 9 o'clock when we're supposed to be packing things up. And there's an MD-11 UPS, not that one, but one that's parked there. It's supposed to go out at 8:55. It's now estimated at 9:11, and that puts it a little late for us, so we may miss that one. Doesn't look like we're on track to see any 747s on this day, regrettably. So here comes American Eagle Flight 3632 from Abilene, Texas, West Texas. Be our next arrival on runway DFW. Whoops. Thought I was on my other camera, sorry. So here, if you can see it, you can see the tail to the left. Here is the UPS MD that's scheduled to go out around 9 o'clock, but I don't think we'll get to see it. And the reason is, for those of you who've been watching our program before, you know that I have a job and I've got to go to that job and be there ostensibly at 9:30. I don't often make the scene by 9:30, but I have a pretty flexible schedule. Because it really takes me usually more than a half hour to pack up here.
2268, visual, 18 right. Thursday land, 18 right, 2268. Left minus the blade of it, 2759.
We have a plane that's fixing to take off. It's American Flight 2759, 737-800, on its way to San Antonio, or San Antone as some people say. Not me. Well, I just said it, but normally I don't say it that way. You'll see it enter your picture there, and then we'll switch over to camera 5. Thought it was never going to take off there. There it goes. Headed to the Alamo City. We would like to say thank you to Jessen Lee for a super sticker with a purple mustache, and I don't recognize that currency, Jessen Lee, but whatever it is, I am very grateful for it, and I thank you for your kind contribution to Runway DFW, helping us pay for equipment and streaming expenses and all that kind of stuff. This is American Flight 2268 coming in from Querétaro in Mexico, 737-800 here on this Tuesday morning. Another flight from Old Mexico, American Flight 2027 from Silao. This will be an A319 coming in right here on Runway DFW. Some of the interesting cloud patterns that are developing above us here at DFW Airport. Naken is our newest subscriber to Runway DFW. Thank you, Naken. Hope I pronounced that correctly. There you see American Flight 1304, 737-800. Don't know where that one's going. And incoming right now is American Flight 2890 from Colorado Springs in the state of Colorado. Watch that coming in.
Wait, when I left American 1304.
WDW Fannin, Texas. Thanks for the early stream, Walt. Great job as always. We'll be flying out of Love Field 2 weeks from today. Just a better fit for us than DFW because it's smaller and more manageable. And of course, it depends on where you're going too. Chances are that there's a good frequency of flights to wherever you're going from Love Field. Felix Candia is our newest subscriber. Thank you. Gerard points out, our moderator Gerard says, we at Runway DFW are in no way liable for any addiction to this channel. Viewing this live stream is therefore entirely at your own risk. Viewer discretion is advised. Thank you. I don't point that out enough, Gerard.
We're going to need just about 2 minutes for engine warm-up.
Have some saucy content here at Runway DFW. And of course, if you're looking for more content later today, I don't know when he's firing it up. I believe that Kevin will be way up on top of the H Hotel at LAX this afternoon. From his special platform, and that's always a sight to see, where you can get the view, the overview of the entire airport almost. Bill Platt says, again, one of our great moderators, says, best things of this stream, it's not a typical spotting stream. It's part spotting, part weather, part introspective thoughts, part airport operations, part ASMR, with a calming host to guide us. So we have some planes doing a little bit of ballet there on the takeoff area. Not sure what they're up to. An American Airlines flight coming in from Austin, an Airbus A319. We've got an American Airlines plane over there. That was the Austin flight coming in. Got an American Airbus A321 flight 2720, which is destined for Tucson, Arizona, and also that little old plane, that CRJ 701, is American Eagle 3123, bound and determined for Corpus Christi. In the meanwhile, we have American 2612, an Airbus A321, just about to get here from Denver, Colorado. We may take a look at that coming in. So what was this? Oh, this is the Denver flight coming in, an A321.
have Larry, we take off 18 left, American 27. Parker's got 3123.
We were going to take a look at these statues over here, weren't we? This sculpture. And now that it's light out, we can get a better view of it here at Founders Plaza. It's three children who are kind of frolicking, pretending to be aircraft. It's a, it's a kind of a cool thing. And you will see my grandson at the end of this broadcast, who is mimicking one of those poses quite well, I might say. He appears on our copyright screen. And at certain times of day when there are children here, you will see them doing the same thing. They're kind of mimicking what these statued children are doing here. Let's go back to this Western Global flight, which we do not have. Doesn't appear as though it's going out while we'll be here this morning.
Line up and wait, 18 left, American 1365.
Oh, and Adamiro says, does that statue have an official name? I think it does, and I did not make note of it, so I'll have to write that down for a future broadcast.
28 right, cleared line, American 790.
So back to activity. That Airbus A320 is off to El Paso, Texas, American Flight 1365. And we have a flight from Birmingham coming in, Airbus A319, Birmingham, Alabama, American Flight 790.
Work for the bus, line of weight, I'm worried, 41.
Air show 5838, line up and wait 1.
American 1365.
Over there, American 55 uniform, 18 right. Cleared line, 18 right, American 55 uniform.
Let's see what we can see here. Oh, okay. Hey. The flight from Dubai is coming in early. This is a 777. It is Emirates. Flight 221. It's been in the air for 15 hours and 34 minutes, and it's about to land. So let us see if we can pick that out of the sky for you. There's a flight from Doha behind it somewhere. That one is still, I want to say 20 minutes out, so we may see that as our final flight of the day. Don't know. That was what I was hoping for, but there it is.
RDAV, Leonard, clear for takeoff, 18 left, Air Shuttle 5838.
So Emirates sends us one flight a day. Qatar Airways sends us two. And there may even be more during this time of World Cup. I haven't checked. But there is a Qatar Airways flight on its way in. It's probably about 18 minutes away now. Andy Taylor says, good day, y'all. I had to wait for my 10-minute subscription to open up to get on chat. The sculptures are called I Wish I Could Fly By. Oh, I Wish I Could Fly by Dennis Smith. So, look at that. We have a viewer who has favored us with the information about this sculpture. And it certainly is a logical name. I wish I could fly.
Land runway 18 left,
Our good morning, step 4925, visual approach 18 right, parking. Alright, clear to land, step 4925.
So thank you for that information. Thank you for subscribing. And of course, the reason we have that delay on the posting a message on is just to keep out the riffraff, keep somebody from just popping on and making nasty comments. WDW Fan in Texas says Qatar is scheduled right at 9 a.m. Yeah, I know it is. Austin Swafford says, good morning, Walt. Good morning to you, Austin. It's good to see you over the weekend.
for takeoff. 18 left, our nav depart. Command 2722.
Here comes a plane.
Fleet 18 left, American 18 Alpha.
It's an American Airlines plane.
We're on 14 full.
There's the Emirates 777 waiting its turn to dock at Terminal D. Oh, I was going to tell you what that was. That was American Flight 9, sorry, strike that, American Flight 698, arriving from Phoenix in Airbus A321. Next out, it would appear to be American Airlines Flight 1805, an Airbus A320. Destination Oklahoma City. There you see it there, kind of poking into the frame on the left.
Stay American 2722.
Excuse me. I explained earlier in the broadcast that I had a pneumonia shot yesterday, and I'm feeling the effects of it now. You know, a lot of achiness and just those side effects you sometimes get from a shot. So here goes the flight to Oklahoma City, and as we watch this go out, we may get a glance at a flight coming in from Oklahoma City.
Echo Bravo, hold short 1 left, 4925.
Plane left, clear for takeoff, RNAV to Lair, an American 1059.
Report American 1805, take care.
So yonder cometh the flight from Oklahoma City.
Left, land at the point, employee 3550.
So anyway, what I'm trying to say is that pneumonia shot, it's kind of knocked me for a loop here today. I don't have my normal energy. We will be welcoming next American Flight 2335 from Albuquerque, 737-800. Swing the big camera around for that. Hey Chuck Tolsma, hello to you. Good seeing you here. Chuck Tolsma, of course, is credited with introducing Kevin and Rudy at Airline Videos Live to Topo Chico, the carbonated water beverage, which I always try to keep a supply of at home. It's very refreshing.
18 left, line up and wait, envoy 4241.
So we're just a few minutes out from the Doha flight. You know, it looks like the Doha may be vectoring in on the east side. But at any rate, that's going to be our final flight of the day. That's another 777. It's still 5 minutes out. And that will be the conclusion of our broadcast.
RNAV to B Park, clear for takeoff, 18 left, envoy 4241.
There's a UPS A300 coming in from Shreveport, which is also due to arrive in 5 minutes, and it should be coming in on this side of the airport. Yeah, you got low energy Walt today, I'm afraid, folks. Here's the One World. Did we see that? We saw a One World livery come in earlier. Is that the same aircraft, I wonder? Got turned around.
241, yeah.
We've got a lot of planes getting ready to take off here. So the One World plane there in the middle is going to Palm Springs. That's a 737-800. Gosh, we're up to 67 degrees here Fahrenheit at the big airport. You'd think that'd be shirt sleeve weather, but I've got a shirt and a t-shirt and a hoodie on, and I'm still a little cold. I think it may be the impact of that pneumonia inoculation I got yesterday. Robert Smith says, hello again. I had a coffee and a donut, and that sounds good. When I got to work now, a bit of Runway DFW before it gets too busy, or before we sign off, which will be happening in about 5 minutes. Simon is a fan of the American One World livery. Mrs. Runway DFW, hearkening back to an earlier age when people might recognize the name Perry Como. Let's look over to the east. We can see some parallel landings there. They've got 3 north-south runways over there. We've only got 2 over here, so quite often when it gets busy like this, you'll see 2 planes landing at the same time. Typically on the plane closest to us would be landing on runway 17 center, and the one on the left would be landing on 17 left. It's a big airport. And it's nice that it's so spread out for a number of reasons, not the least of which is safety, of course. But it does make it a little tough for plane spotters. Okay, let me see if I can figure out where this... Yeah, the Doha plane is coming in on the east side. I believe we can see it. This should be it. That's it. 777 from Doha. Landing way over on the east side.
Alright, we'll maintain visual contact, clear for takeoff, 1 left, Arnett or Marin, American 1312. Alright, line up and wait, 1 left, American 1312.
And again, we won't get to see it land, we'll just get to see it disappear here in a second or two.
Going over Alpha 32. Echo Bravo, sort of 1A left, American 2487.
So let me check the, there's another, oh, that's a Alaska Airlines One World livery. Oh, what do you know? Okay, well, I hate to leave you when it's so busy like this, but I think we'll leave you, since we didn't get to see the 777 come in. We're going to leave you with flight 9732 UPS coming in from Shreveport. It's another A300. Dates back to the turn of the century, the year 2000, and that'll be our final plane of the morning.
American 2792, 4 out for the right side.
Well, there we have it.
Later land, American 2792.
3 hours of, today not quite scintillating airport activity, but it'll do, Pig, it'll do. Ian Fleming says, must go now. Thanks for a great stream, Walt. See you all soon. Well, you know what? I have to go as well, because it's that time again. I want to thank everybody who's been a part of this broadcast, certainly to all of our great moderation team, the Moderation Federation, many of whom you see on that list there were joining us this morning for at least part of the time. Thanks to all of you for keeping things nice and calm in the chat room. And we will be back perhaps tomorrow. I can't say yet whether that's going to be the case. So stand by. We'll post up something when we know more. And so thanks to all of you for watching, for liking, for subscribing, for your contributions. And until next time, happy contrails to you until we meet again. I have to get that Piedmont livery in.
Which follows at most of these CBS stations.
We hope you liked it, too late to change it now.
Flight 18 left, the last 756.